Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Universes Academy podcast. This our continuing series, the Symbols of Peace series, where each week we take a different symbol in the My Hero Academia card game, and we talk about it, give you a little breakdown. I'm your host, John Jennings. With me, as always, is my co-host Ryan Kraft. How you doing, Ryan?
Good man. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good, just living that weekend life. Nice to have some
Fighting,
some time off.
fighting with my computer constantly, but I think we're good.
Yeah, I don't understand how my like jank ass webcam system works better than yours.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you want to tell them how your webcam's set up, just so they can all laugh at it?
Yes, sure. So I am using a PS3 iToy as my webcam, and I have to run it through OBS and turn on the virtual cam settings on that to actually get it to run in Discord. Um, and I also have it because the iToy is not meant to like attach to anything, so it's not like on my monitors or something. So I have like an old broken token box that is standing up vertically, and it's just sitting on top of that in between my two monitors, staring at me.
Oh man, it's so good.
It's
So
a
good.
good. It has surprisingly like decent picture quality.
Yeah, it looks fine. Totally
Mhm.
fine. Probably like
Probably will have.
720p. Like good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's like and Matt gave it to me when I got a PS3 because he got something I wasn't using anymore. He's like, hey, it's free if you ever need it or want to use it. Here you go. And then we were setting up this podcast. I'm like, why don't we do like a video aspect too? And I was like, shit, I don't think I have a cam. I was like, oh wait, I do, and it worked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take a picture of it and we can like post it or something like that so people can just see how ridiculous it looks.
God, please do that.
um well anyway, as we always do on the UA podcast, we'll get into some current events first. The biggest news out of the office is that the Plus Ultra packs are starting to show up in the wild. We've seen a couple of people on Facebook been cracking theirs open, and I think the news is that the DLC packs and the Plus Ultra packs are off the boats and now are going through Asmodee to get clearance to get shipped out to everybody else. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's what they were saying on the office.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess that process has started since there's pictures on Facebook groups of people with plus ultras in their hands. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good news. And maybe since I think those things came off, I think they had the plus ultra packs before they had the DLC.
Yeah.
So the plus ultra is coming out, and I guess we're still waiting on the DLC distribution.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But that's exciting news. Like that's our next big wave of content, of card content anyway, is going to be the Plus Ultra packs and the DLC, and see how those things kind of shake things up. Um.
Yeah, and I know Jason like mentioned on the office that was their intent with the metas, just like have the plus ultra packs hit, and then that
Mhm.
shift things, and the DLC hit that shift things, and then they're gonna do the same thing with set two, where it's like set two plus ultras, and then set two DLC, and so on
Okay.
and so forth.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I kind of like that because you get like you get the huge wave of the course of like the block set, right? You get
Yeah,
like My Hero and the rival decks, and then you have those for a few months. You kind of get things right when things kind of might start to get a little stale. You kind of sprinkle in a few
yeah,
things. Here comes the plus ultra packs, kind of mix things up with a few characters and some attacks and stuff. And then once things kind of get those settled in, then you get the DLC packs. I like that. It's a good way to distribute string along content
yeah,
as
no
opposed
doubt.
to like Magic or some other card game where it's really just like you get the set and that's it. Um, but yeah. Well, I don't think we really have any other news, so we're just gonna get right on into it as Joey comes into the room with me. Hey, buddy.
I
Uh,
locked Meatball out before the podcast.
oh,
Confession.
yeah.
Normally
I
she gets
can't lock.
banished to the Shadow Realm. Now she's banished from the Shadow Realm.
Oh no, she's just gonna go bug Nathan.
He's not home, so she's just gonna
Oh,
go lay in the hall on the cool wooden floor and be happy. Is what she's gonna do.
okay. Well, if that works. Hey, buddy. All right. Well, as I was saying before, Joey rudely interrupted us. Let's go ahead and get into this, man. We're talking about the water symbol this week, and I got to be honest, I think water might actually be my favorite symbol out of this set so far. It's never really been a symbol that I played in old UFS. I never really did anything 'cause I feel like it did a lot of like defense and reversal type stuff in old UFS.
Yeah,
And that was never really my style. But, like reversals weren't really that good when I played. I know since then they have printed some like think bonkers kind of reversals.
Yeah.
But
So I take it you like water because it has ice storm in it.
yeah, yes, it has Ice Storm. I like water. I feel like it has the best defensive cards in the game. I think it has the maybe I don't know if it has the best defense. It has the most useful defensive cards. Like it has the biggest spectrum of them.
Okay.
And it also has a weirdly good amount of offensive stuff with it too. I think a lot of the offense, it honestly it does revolve around Todoroki and the ranged package that he brings to it. Because all his cards have water on it, and a lot of pretty much all the other water characters, all their attacks have some kind of ranged on them as well. So it plays into that.
Yeah.
Um, what are your thoughts on the water symbol?
Um I mean, I like it. I like it because it has ice storm in it as well. No, so I like water a lot. So I, I guess I guess overarching thoughts on water is like I like that it's pretty well rounded, like you're saying. It's not
Hmm.
like pigeonholed into one thing. It has some powerful cards from all walks of life, all different,
Hmm.
all different keywords and types of things you can do. So it keeps it a little bit unpredictable while still being cohesive enough to actually kill people and stay alive, which I
Hmm.
like.
Yeah.
Um, and I like the characters in Water. I think there's like a good diverse spread of characters that do different enough things.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I look forward to building some more Water decks because the only one I've really built um, was a bad Todoroki deck. But I look forward to playing more like Water Asui and even maybe a Water Mineta. I think could be pretty fun.
Yeah. I don't think water has the best characters in the game, but I think it has my favorite or maybe the most interesting characters.
Yeah.
They've got just a really unique spread of powers and things like that, and a good like mix of different enhances, like free enhance, commit enhance, really good responses. Um, I do remember like when Asui first came out, we all thought like, well, that's rap. She's the best character in the game.
Yep.
Uh,
Were we
and
wrong?
I don't know that we were wrong to be honest. She is very strong. Uh,
I think people
just
are starting. I've seen a little bit of talk about her lately in the
hmm
public Facebook Discord universe where people are talking about how she's a good foil to Kirishima, and
hmm
I think they're right. And I think she's always been really good. I think people are just
hmm
like ironing out the best deck list for her right now.
Yeah, and there's still kind of the do you play her off water, air, life, like kind of trying to figure that out, which one is the best combo for her. Um, as far as weaknesses for the symbol, what kind of use what do you see?
I guess you're not throwing out like long attack strings in water unless you're playing the range package.
Hmm.
Um, I don't, I don't think it has like that many weaknesses, honestly, though. Because it still has
Yeah.
like really quality attacks. It has good ways to kill people. You stay alive long enough to do your game plan. Um, and like a lot of things, even if it's got damage like lower damage attacks and is a little harder to kill people sometimes, like with lower speed attacks. I mean, when the DLC hits or the plus ultra packs hit, like there's cards that help solve that. So I don't
Hmm.
really think it has that many flaws.
Yeah, I don't either because it's got a little bit of control stuff going on. You've got obviously irrefutable force of nature. You've got some of those. You've got some even some discard. Like Zero's got a discard card because why
Mm-hmm.
not? You can throw that in there if you want. I don't think it really works in a lot of the other decks, but I you've got the Moneta version, which is obviously it's a more defensive style, but it has enough aggro, especially once the DLC packs come out. Because I mean the Asui attack just gets slammed into any Moneta deck. Um, it's I think it's the best overall symbol. Like it has no real glaring weakness. It has card draw. It has amazing defensive cards. It's got good enough offensive cards. Um, it's got an amount of control, not a control heavy deck, but it's enough that if you want to splash a little bit here and there, you can put it in there. Um, I think it's my favorite symbol so far. Like I said earlier, and like I was really shocked by that. kind of
Yeah,
assessing the symbol.
and I mean, it has some of the best, or it has some of the most abundant spam out of all the symbols.
Hmm.
Not the most, obviously, but it's up there. It's got a bunch of zeros and ones, and they're actually
Yeah.
playable.
It's got a good bit of breaker as well. Between obviously Ice Storm, we've talked about that ad nauseum. But then Asui's got at
Mm.
least one or two breaker cards. I think it's her ultra rare
It's
has
got
breaker.
frog lashing. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
it. Unless
Um,
one of the DLC cards has it. Let's see.
I don't think so.
It does not. So yeah, I mean, a couple breaker cards. You got wall clang. You got gotcha with rescue completed combos. Tape.
Yeah.
Um, you got what's their plan to hate on momentum. I
Hmm.
mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on, man.
It really is. So obviously from the core set, as far as characters go, we've got Sero, Mineta, Todoroki, and Asui. And then coming in from the quirk pack, you got Kamui Woods. From the Plus Ultra pack, you got Mina, and then we've got the DLC version of Asui. Um, of these, I think the core Asui is still probably the best out of
Yeah,
the water characters. Um, I as far as like a second, like who's fighting for second place, I think it's a really tough decision. Um, Cero's ability to constantly change the zones, and if you he's like I think a higher IQ character maybe, or maybe like, all right, my opponent sits down, they're playing this character. I know that character probably runs a lot of like high attacks, or like you have to know like all the block zones your opponent's gonna have, and you can kind of like always get half damage through.
yeah.
Um,
Man, what are
his
you talking about, bro? You making every attack low, like you're playing Tekken.
that's
Low attack,
that's
low attack,
true.
low attack, low
It's
attack.
true. Low attacks all the time. I mean, he also has a free response that says draw two cards after every attack, basically.
Yeah, and it's good, but
Yeah.
you got to be able to throw threatening attacks that make them
Want to
want to
block.
block half.
Hmm.
Um, or do you throw attacks so non-threatening that they don't even block? That's the question.
Yeah. And honestly, of the Stereo decks that I've played and the ones I've played with, most of the time the opponent's just like, I guess I just won't block this because I don't want you drawing two cards. Um,
Yeah, it definitely puts you in a rough spot defensively if you're playing against
mm,
it. Um, you gotta hold on to blocks. And honestly, is the play against him to just like hold blocks of all one zone? And
mhm.
no, that doesn't work. You have to
uh,
hold like everything. You can't hold enough blocks to block consistently. Those the problem. So
yeah, I
I
think
guess you
against
accept they're gonna draw like two cards every turn at some point.
yeah, you kind of get to that point. You have to. I think you do try and keep one high and one low block, probably right, because they're not going to leave an attack mid.
Yeah,
Um,
and then as many mids as you think you need to half block to survive.
Yeah. And honestly, it kind of depends on what character you're playing. If you're playing like a higher health character, you're probably just like, I'll kind of just eat these until I can't.
Yeah,
Um, but if you're playing like Todoroki or Asui, or a lower health character, it can be pretty rough because you can only not block like two or three times before you have to block everything.
yeah. It's like when you're
Um,
playing against Bakugo, you just don't want to block stuff because you want them to have to
yeah,
play honestly, but then you're just dead.
yeah. He forces your opponent to make tough decisions. And then his once per game response is obviously it's a once per game response. It should be amazing, and it is. Um,
Yeah, I think finding
I
the right spot to get in with that response is more difficult than it seems.
Yeah, because there's always like, well, I'm on offense and they blocked my attack. I think I may try to kill them this turn. Let's go ahead and pop it and look at their hand. But if they've got like four or five cards in their hand, I don't know if it's worth it at that point, right?
Yeah,
It's like, well, then do you
yeah.
do it
I guess if people are
defensively?
holding 4 or 5 cards going into your turn, you're just not gonna plan on using that. You're gonna try and like set up a backswing or something. You're gonna do it on their turn,
Yeah.
try and kill something, and then kill them.
Yeah, I honestly I think I like using it defensively a little more. Because you can wait till they're going in on their kill turn or something, and they play one attack, and having to block it. Like, well, let's go ahead and look at that hand, see what you got.
Oh yeah, I think defensively is the option because
Hmm.
like you said you block something, you look at their hand, get rid of their best card, and then like all their block zones. So I don't see any problem doing that at all.
Yeah. Um, I hate that they made Mineta a really good character because as we talked about, I hate Mineta the character.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mineta
didn't want
seems
to play him.
strong. I think Mineta's just kind of slow right now, but I like
Hmm.
Mineta more than I wish I liked Mineta. He
Yeah, he's got.
he's super annoying to play against, right? But his
Hmm.
ability to just like return something back to printed speed is huge right now because there's so many things that just pump speed up to ridiculous levels.
Hmm. And also that free enhance, just plus 2 damage every attack.
Yeah. I,
Um, it,
so the isn't the new DLC or the new promo card of Asui? Doesn't it like put something in their card pool too?
it's the DLC. It automatically puts something in their card pool.
Yeah, I feel like that card is going to be like the ultimate enabler for Mineta decks.
Yes, it's the ultimate opener and finisher.
Is it a finisher
Uh,
too? Oh yeah, because it gets
because it
plus
gets
one for
plus
each
1.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's up.
Um.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like Mineta. The response to make them commit foundations is strong. Is I mean, he's just really good. Like it's a really solid character. I kind of wish he
Yeah,
had maybe year 29 life because he has a lose 1 vitality response, but that's whatever. Can't have
yeah,
everything.
yeah. If only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this character is gonna just get better and better the more you can interact with your opponent's card pool. Who knows how
Hmm.
much of that stuff they'll print? But I mean, they already got a DLC character doing it, and
Hmm.
he does it. So maybe there'll be more.
Yeah. And I mean, he can't play Momo's asset. Well, no, she puts it in your own card pool, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yes. So never mind.
Man, that'd be
Um,
awesome though. Maybe there'll be
yeah,
a another version of Momo that puts things in your opponent's card
that would be pretty cool. Just
pool.
gotta make sure she has water or order or something. She ain't gonna
Yeah,
have. Well,
she could
I'd
have
say she wouldn't
water.
have evil, but that Asui has evil.
Yeah,
Um,
randomly.
I think it's so that Mineta could play that card.
Yeah, well, it's got water too, right?
Yeah, as I was saying. So you got multiple choices.
Yeah,
Um, I like Kamui Woods too. I think he's an interesting character. He's another character that when we first saw him, we're like, oh my god, how could they print this character?
yeah. I like
Uh,
Kamui. He's like super straightforward. You just play the game and you get just passive benefits. It's nice.
mhm. Yeah. Mina, we talked about her recently with Chaos. I like any character that's just like, hey, let's play the lottery. I'm gonna check it out, right? Because it's just
Yeah,
fun. Because maybe you hit giant attacks. Maybe you get a foundation you really need. It's pretty great.
all your attacks get extra speed. You gain some
Hmm.
life, so you're not
Yeah,
really a 720. I mean, you are, but you're not.
you like 722, 723.
Yeah, and then
'Cause
the DLC Asui.
I think she's probably. I don't want to say she's the worst because I still don't know about Todoroki. Um, she's just categorically not nearly as good as the regular Asui, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think she still wants to like try and throw longer attack strings,
Hmm.
if possible. It's just she doesn't really enable it as much. But if you can get to the point of a turn where your opponent just doesn't have any cards left, or you know they're not blocking your attack, and you can just start discarding stuff for +4 damage, seems
Hmm.
pretty good. But
Yeah.
you just got to get it set up, and your opponent can't play into it.
Yeah, and also they have to have that card in their card pool to be able to discard.
Yeah,
Which you would think she would be able to trigger it. And I guess if she's got evil and water, so maybe they also thought about her playing Mineta's cards because he has a couple of things that does that too. So
yeah.
gives her access to those as well.
I mean, I guess the cool thing about her enhance is for like every attack of yours that gets blocked, you discard their block and basically like add that attack on to your next one or something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you're adding that
It
damage because that's like
it's
4 damage is the average attack damage printed.
yeah, it's the sword of Damocles hanging over your opponent
I'm
with
not
every
gonna lie,
attack.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, don't worry about it. It's this hanging sword. It's just this looming threat that's over you all the time. So it's
I'm
like
I'm
you can
googling it.
block this attack. You can block this attack, but if you do, just know that the next card you try to block is going to have +4 damage. We'll be right
Sounds
back,
good.
guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the UA podcast, talking about the water symbol. Before we get back into our discussion of the water symbol, talking about attacks and foundations, I do want to give a shout out to our friends over at the Very Random Encounters podcast. If you're not familiar, is a podcast series where each season they take a different tabletop RPG setting or system, and then tell a story about it. They play the game, they record it, and that is the podcast. But they do everything they can to make everything that could be randomized randomized, and then whatever happens, they just go with it. It's a lot of fun if you like things like Critical Role or something like that. I would definitely consider checking this out. Um, it's I don't know how many they've done, but if you go to their website, it's VRE.show. It has a list of all the different systems they've used and all the different seasons, and it's got links to the systems themselves, like the support. So if you listen to one of the seasons, you're like, oh, that system sounded like a lot of fun. You can just go right to their website, and they've got where you can pick up those books or find that material. If you also run your own, I don't know, a lot of people run D&D campaigns and stuff like that, and you think, man, I really wish I could have some easy stuff to randomize my sessions. I know my players would like it. They actually have their own book they wrote called the Ultimate Random Encounters book. It's in most major retailers. It's probably also in some of your local bookstores if you can. If you want to pick it up, I'd say support a local bookstore first. But you can get it off Amazon. You can get it at Books a Million and Barnes and Noble and that stuff too. Um, if you're a fan of tabletop RPGs at all, I would seriously just give them a listen. Just go check them out. Um, I know Ryan has enjoyed some of their podcasts as well.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of their series, and it's always fun, man.
Hmm.
They have I counted. There's 23 that they've done.
Oh my,
Yeah,
23. That's
23.
yeah, they've been at it for a while, and they've got that stuff refined and honed. It is really
Yeah.
good. Um, but yeah, please check them out. Um, Getting back into our discussion of the water symbol. First up, we're going to talk about some attacks. Um, as always, any symbol that has Ice Storm, we have to talk about Ice Storm because it's the greatest card that has ever been printed in UFS. Um, I don't know what else to say about it.
Yep. I think we've talked about it plenty. It's a good card. I like the card. Did I tell you that I found somebody selling them super cheap on TCG Player?
No, how much are they?
I got them for like sub $2.
What? I only have two. I need to buy two more, so that's
I'll
about
sell
to
you
happen.
some. I'll sell you some for $5 a piece.
Oh my god. $5. Why would I do that when I could get two of them for like probably $5
They're
after shipping?
gone. They're not on TCG Player anymore. They're here in my house.
Are they? I'm about to see if you're a liar or not. We
I bought
interrupt
them.
this. We interrupt this
We're not
Universes Academy podcast.
we're not promoting TCG Player on this podcast, by the way.
We're not, but well, it helps if I spell it Ice Storm and not Ice Strom.
I can sell you some Ice Stroms too for
Oh, you got
$10.
you got them Ice Stroms?
I got them Ice Stroms, son. They have Brocker 3 on them.
Rocker 3.
Yeah, man, it's good.
uh what? No, I don't want the XR for this is taking too long. I don't care anymore.
Yep.
Uh
See, $5 a piece. I got you.
Damn it. You got me. All right. Well, talking about some non-ice storm attacks. Looking up at Cero's lineup, obviously his attacks are going to play a lot into his theme of changing the zones and that kind of stuff. Or if this is changed, if the zone is changed, you get X ability or X bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wasn't sure about sudden tape shot when it first came out. I was like, I don't know about having to commit another foundation to change it again. But if you can get, was it Think Fast out and you just get that zone change, well not, oh no, I guess Cero does it, but Think Fast gives you the bonus.
Right.
But Sudden Tape Shot is a fucking MVP in every Cero deck I've ever played, man. It's, do you need speed? Do you just want both for one foundation? It's only 4 difficulty
Mm-hmm.
attack. I mean, using maybe one foundation to get a 6 low for 6 or something like that. That's pretty not bad.
Yeah, it's I don't hate it for
Yeah.
sure. I
Um,
like out of his attacks, I really like Tape Swing and Grasping Tape Toss personally,
mhm,
because Tape Swing is like a powerful 2 throw essentially, and then
mhm.
Grasping Tape Toss is just a normal throw that lets you commit things if it's
Yeah.
not blocked.
Yeah, well, it's got stun 1, so it lets you commit something right off the bat.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's like a little 2 speed 5 damage attack that they don't want to block anyways. And then you're
mhm,
like, well, if you don't block this, I'm committing your best thing.
mhm.
And yeah, I like this card a lot.
Yeah, and it's targeted committal, right? The enhance, because you get to
Yeah,
pick what you, commit. Um,
indeed.
Yeah, and tape swing is ah, man, that 2 check. I was I love this card. It is really good. That 2 check really holds me back though. 'Cause 2 checks just lurk in your deck, just waiting to just destroy you at the worst possible moment.
Yeah, you just gotta always be playing around it.
I mean, that's fair.
Just assume that every
Um,
check is a two check.
mhm. And okay, so I guess let's talk about this with tape swing. It has the static text that says this attack cannot be completely blocked. I've seen a lot of
Right.
people discuss this. What that means is that if at any point when you would go to block it, if your block zone matches the zone of the attack, you are playing an illegal block and it does not count.
Yeah, so
Right?
you can't even attempt
Yes.
to block it with the block that matches, yeah.
Yes. So this
So you
this
can't
came up
like
because
oh,
there
go
was
ahead.
a I was gonna say there's a card in standard. I don't remember like it's some guile card, cool and focused, I think, that it had like a basically a static thing. Like when you went to block with this card, the block zone or maybe it like changed it made something so that the block zone and the attack zone automatically corrected and were the same. And so they automatically was fully blocked. And people were like, what happens with this? And it's then cool and focus becomes an illegal block and is not blocked.
Yeah. Yep.
Um
Pretty
it
simple.
just yep.
Because
Just
it
as
says
a general
you can't do it, so you can't do
yeah,
it. It's just pretty simple.
as a general rule of thumb, in pretty much any card game or any card game, a cannot overrides a can. So if the card says you cannot do this, anything that would attempt to do it is null and void.
Mhm.
So that's the only thing about tape swing you gotta remember. Just if you cannot even attempt to fully block it. It's just
Yeah.
you can't.
And pump that
Um
damage up. That's the other thing you gotta remember.
yes, you gotta, those are rookie numbers, man. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Pump it
Uh
up.
let's see. Minetta's attacks. I'd say he's got a solid lineup of attacks. There's nothing that's gonna like stand out and I think, oh my god, this is like an auto include and maybe some non-Minetta decks. Eat my sticky balls, maybe, just because it's a 4 high for 4 and a +1 high block. That's really good, and it's got a decent enhance.
Yeah,
Um,
like I think that's the only card that I don't know, man. I do not like Minetta's attacks. That's the thing I don't like about Minetta.
yeah.
I like Minetta as a character, I like Minetta's foundations well enough. I
Mhm,
do not like the attack package because, like, I think Grape Rush attack is probably fine in Minetta, just because it
mhm.
can draw you like 4 cards in a perfect situation. But like Pop Off Step,
Yeah,
um, I
not great.
mean, I guess you get some momentum for comboing, but what are you even using the momentum for?
Great
Also,
pressure attack.
are you playing like Evil Fury build? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
Sticky Ball Toss Tackle is just
it's a
I don't
throw.
know. Yeah, it's a 3 damage throw that gets good if they've blocked like 3 times, or you put 3 things in their card pool, right?
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's not it goes into a very specific type of deck, which is only throwing throws, which I don't think it's a great deck at the moment.
I mean, it
Um,
doesn't have to be an only throw deck to play this card.
no, I mean,
Um,
like I said, if you're playing Minetta, I think you're probably gonna play it. Um, but I don't know because I feel like Minetta is best off of water, and that includes playing the ranged package from Todoroki. This card does not have ranged.
yeah,
I feel like if you're playing Frigid Heat Wave, every attack needs to be a ranged attack.
man, they should have went ahead and just they should have just ripped the band-aid off on this card and let it give your attack stun 2 if you lose 2 health. Just give it actual
Yeah.
stun 2.
Yes, just enhance lose 2 health, this attack gains stun too.
Yeah, then I would play this card.
Yes, because that enhance is not great. Like when I played this card, I never wanted to use that enhance.
Yeah.
Um,
So I
because
guess
then
like you're trading off to pay 2 health to make them block an attack, a 3 damage attack. I mean,
yes,
I guess that's the
and
goal,
then
but
yeah, but then you also would then respond with Moneta, presumably, and lose another health to commit something. So you're paying 3 health to maybe commit 1 foundation.
or 3 foundations.
Well, wait. So how does this one work? If it is not blocked, so if they do block it, they don't commit things, right?
Oh yeah, true.
And then Minette only works if it has been blocked.
Yeah,
So you're paying. y- It's I don't know. It's an okay card for it to be a rare. I think it's kind of disappointing. Um,
Oh, that is a
but
rare. Ooh.
that's his rare attack. Yeah.
Ooh.
Um, it's not great. The best thing about his attacks is that Great Brush Attack is a +1 low block. It also has 8 damage base, which is that's that's nothing to forget, right? Like 8 damage base is the highest base attack we've seen. So
Is it?
you've
I guess that's true. Okay.
Pillar Swing. Before they presented Pillar Swing, it was the only one that had that. Pillar Swing has 8 as well. Um, so I mean, there's something to be said for that. If you've got one momentum, you play Great Brush Attack and you plus Ultra, it does 16
Yeah, I guess it's still 4 speed, right?
and mid.
I guess you would just like plus ultra the speed, make it like an 8
Yeah,
speed.
8 speed for 8. Maybe throw some. I mean, it's got powerful, so you could throw some powerful in there.
Oh, there you go.
Uh,
There's the combo, bro. You Fury attack into pop off step to get your momentum,
mm-hmm.
and then you play Great Brush attack and plus ultra it with the momentum you got. There we go.
There you go.
Great,
Boom. We did
great
it.
attack lineup.
We did it.
Hey, who knows? Could be
um,
good.
moving along.
All right. So speaking of printed 8 damage attacks, you got Frigid Heat Wave.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. This attack, it's always like 4 or 6 damage for me.
Yeah, I feel like I have better luck with Frigid Heat Wave than you do. But I also tend to put more attacks in my deck than maybe some players do.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I feel like this is obviously our third time talking about Todoroki and his cards. His attacks, I like them. They're a lot of fun. Obviously, you got Frigid Heat Wave and Ice Storm. If you're playing any kind of ranged attack package, you're going to be playing at least both of those cards if you have them, right? Um,
Probably. Yeah,
Maybe Giant Ice
probably
Wall.
so.
Giant
I
Ice
like.
Wall is still a really good card.
I'm a fan of Giant Ice Wall. I like getting big on the stun, and it also has breaker.
Breaker, it's a low attack with +2 high block, which is good.
And like we talked
Giving
about on the sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like we talked about on the Chaos podcast, I actually like massive flash freeze. I just always like cut it at the last minute from every deck. It's just like
Hmm.
right on the precipice.
The 3 damage is not great, right? Like I think that's what kind of hurts it. I mean, I realize you can't make it a 4 difficulty attack with 5 speed and 4 damage. That's too
Right,
good.
that'd be pretty good. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, you like. I guess if you're playing Todoroki, you just give it. If you give it a damage or two, then it's crazy
mhm.
statted.
Yeah, and it negates progressive difficulty kind of, right? Because it gives
Just
us
for
the
your
next,
next one. Yeah,
yeah, range attack. A +1 mid block's not bad either.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
really
solid
good.
card. Um, the Asui cards, we got here. Her attacks. I think her attacks are. She has, along with Todoroki, probably the best attack lineup. I think, just as far as synergy with her own character. Um, just like the stuff she wants to do, whether it's clearing her card pool, the face down foundations, like frog lashing is a beating.
Beating, yeah,
God.
yeah,
I
it's really
mean,
good.
yeah. And of course, she has ranged, so you can play stuff like Frigid Heatwave. All her attacks are ranged, so you can just combo right into that and draw cards, draw even more cards. Oh man.
The
Let's
ultimate
think.
frigid heat wave character,
Yes.
Asui,
And
water.
yep. And she has a plus ultra pack attack and a DLC attack. Um,
They love Froppy.
they really do love Froppy.
Why are they all 5 difficulty? Come on, man.
Well, her DLC attacks 4 difficulty. Oh, I guess, yeah. Actually, sorry. Technically, she has 2 plus ultra attacks because Crow and Frog takedown is in anybody attack.
Yeah,
With a 2 character specific enhance. Uh, but her I think her lineup is mostly all ranged,
are we gonna play ranged Mineta off
and that's what
water?
I did in the water deck. I just played ranged water because the tongue whip is insane. Amphibious ambush is also good because it also does artificially generate momentum and clear your card pool at the same time,
Yeah,
and it combos off ranged cards, which is not hard to do.
or no, amphibious ambush puts something in their card pool, and then they get a new foundation, but it clogs their card pool up.
No, it has the enhance. Add 1 other ranged attack from your card pool to your momentum as a free enhance.
Which card are you talking about?
Amphibious ambush, the plus ultra pack card.
I'm looking at
Or
the
no,
combo
sorry, it's a
enhance.
quirk pack. It's a quirk pack
The
card.
combo enhance is what I'm talking about.
Okay, I was talking about the regular enhance where
Sorry.
it's free momentum generation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yes, the combo enhance is also very good, and triggers Monetta's regular enhance. Which I think when we first saw Monetta, that was the biggest problem with Monetta was like there wasn't. You'd have to sacrifice sticky balls, which you don't want to do, to get his free enhance damage pump online. But these
Yeah.
two cards, this one and then the DLC pack card, really just made that super simple.
Yeah, you just go tongue whip into amphibious ambush, and you're just online,
Hmm.
live as fuck. Yeah, I like that.
I don't think Frog Kick is going to see much play. Uh, I mean, it's a 4 difficulty attack, which is nice because a lot of her attacks are, like you said, she's got 3 5 difficulty attacks, which is not great. 4 if you're
Hmm.
counting Crow and Frog Takedown. So Frog Kick is okay. It's kind of low speed, but with Froppy it doesn't matter too much. It's got free Foundation and ready as a response because if you're gonna have cards leave your card pool with Froppy, so that's fine.
I feel like if this was a
Uh,
ranged attack, you would see a lot of play.
I was gonna say that's the problem is it's not a ranged attack, it's kick,
It also
which
doesn't
is
share symbols with any of the kicks,
yeah.
like
I
actual none of them.
I get you got to call it Frog Kick, so it's got a kick in it, but
Yeah, I
it's
mean, if they make a kick package for that symbol, that's a really good kick. Just like generically good kick, you know. So if they make someone
mhm.
who's kicking off of air, life, or water, then yeah,
So does Midoriya has life, right?
yes,
He's good life order.
yeah,
Okay.
I think,
Um, I'm pretty sure that's what his symbols are. So I do think obviously at some point we're gonna get a kick version of Midoriya because he changes to kicks. If he still has life and he's gonna have a kick package, that's presumably
yeah.
not far off.
Set two
That'd be really
Midoriya
good.
kick package.
Maybe. I don't. When exactly does he switch? Because he calls it what the shoot style where he's
Yeah,
kicking. I can't
man, I
remember
couldn't
exactly
tell you.
when.
I couldn't tell you. I watched that
I,
shit so long ago. I don't know.
I
My
don't
brain
remember
doesn't
exactly
work that
when
long back.
he switches over. Um, but yeah. I guess let's talk about some Crow and Frog takedown. Because it does obviously has the Asui. It does have the Infinity symbol, but it has the Asui enhance on it. That is. It also works for Tokiyami, where you can technically ready any one card that has not been ready this combat phase. So obviously you want to use that with Asui to get first to get her free enhance and ready her, and then doing her shenanigans. It's not as good with Tokiyami just because really you don't want to ready him,
Yeah, I
but I
mean,
guess you could ready some foundations or something.
you do and you don't. Like, I think with Tokiyami, you can use it to like get an attack string going, and then
Hmm.
when you're done attacking for the turn, you just like play this and ready your character so you can pull an action back on your opponent's turn.
Hmm. It's not bad. Um,
Yeah,
I don't think Double Front Beatdown really has a space in any of the water decks. Obviously neither of those character specific enhances. Neither of them have water. I think that's just about it for attacks. Any overarching thoughts on water attacks?
I think we kind of talked about it already. Just
Hmm.
all, well, not all, but I think most of the characters are just generically good when it comes to their
Hmm.
attacks.
Probably playing the range package
Yeah,
with
I like
water
the
because
water range package.
that is the I'd say main keyword you got going on. You got a good bit of stun, some breaker, but overall it's the range package. That's what we're
Yeah,
looking at.
and it's a strong
Um,
package.
it is. It is a it's a nice package. Ryan shakes his head, just proving away at me. All right. Talking about foundations. Um, let's see. I think water has some very strong spam foundations. It's got one of the best spam foundations in Gotcha. Um, it's just
Yeah,
always good. It's got a decent playable low block. Obviously, it's a 0/5. The ability to give anything +1 or -1 speed after it's been committed as a response, just awesome, right? It
yeah,
triggers your own abilities. If it gets stunned, you can use it to hinder your
minus
opponent's
speed.
plan. Yeah.
I mean, and on
Obviously,
water, you get to combine it with its best enabler and rescue
yep.
completed.
Rescue completed. Yep. And give something -3 for one foundation. That's just on a stick. That's awesome. Like we talked about how good Specialist of Sound is as a foundation. And this, you just get to do it all the time.
Yeah, it's either you can give plus or
plus
-3 or
two.
+2. Yeah.
Hmm. Um,
Yep. It's good stuff.
yeah, obviously think fast. I don't think it's going to see much play outside of Zero just because he gets that free enhance.
You're just skipping tape. You're skipping over tape.
I was talking about the Zero specific, but also yes, tape is very good. I think it is a generic good spam foundation. Just being able to give something -2 speed or just changing it to a more manageable zone so you can always block it if you need to. Like
Yeah,
I
changing
think
stuff to mid MVP.
yeah, I think that's the best part of this attack, right? Because you're like, oh shit, they made this is low attack. I don't have anything that can block a low attack. I only got high attacks or high blocks. Well, you just change it to a mid. Now you can at least attempt to block half, right?
You're like, damn, I only have 4 ice storms in my hand. Let's make this mid real quick.
Just make my opponent hate me. We've talked about what's their plan before. I think right now it's mainly used for making your opponent discard momentum if you're going to play it. I don't know that it
Mhm.
has that much of a home right now.
You might be able to like big brain something else out of it, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the
Uh,
only guaranteed thing you're doing is momentum hate.
mm-hmm. Um, just- I wish. I think I'm just not smart enough to play what's their plan.
I mean, like, there's pretty obvious stun packages that are out there where like literally every attack has stun on it, so it'd be good against stun.
Yeah, I guess you're playing against Kaminari or something.
Yeah, I mean, air order decks. There are a lot of stun packages in there, so
Hmm.
it's not the worst.
Um, Looking at the Moneta foundations, we got Desperate Times, another good spam foundation. It's really the only form of card draw hate we have in the game right now. Um, you've got the Gen Con All Might. That's not really card draw hate though. That's just punishing your opponent for having a lot of cards in their hand on your turn. This one is like I said, it's the only thing they draw cards. Have to commit foundation. Um, 0-5 +3 high block is not great, but it's there.
Man, yeah, it's fine. It's fine for 0-5.
Hmm.
I would you know what I would love? I would love like a 2 or 3 difficulty foundation to let me target commit something when they draw cards. That'd be great.
Target commit.
Yeah.
That's oof. Does it have to commit itself too, or is it
No,
flip
like a
or
flip.
destroy?
Yeah, like a flip. Yeah.
Flip.
Same
Okay.
as this. Yeah.
Oof, that would be man.
As much as I love to draw cards, I'd probably hate it that it existed, but it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I feel like I liked classmate introductions more when I first saw it than actually playing it. I don't think it's bad. I still think it's good. I just don't think it's quite as good as I thought it was.
Mm, I think it goes in like every
I
deck
think
with
you're
those
playing.
symbols right now.
I think you're playing at least one or two of it. I don't think it's necessarily like a 4 or 3 of. Um,
That's fair.
just because some of its stuff is conditional. Like if your opponent blocks the first attack, well, can't use that enhance anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it's all conditional. Not some of it, all of it.
yes. And obviously we have the MVP of Manila cards, which is unfortunately called Sticky Balls, but this card's amazing. Uh, the first enhance is really good, but it's all about that enhance commit.
Mhm.
The -4 speed to a non-range attack. Oh baby.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of ranged attacks out there, but
Hmm.
some of the biggest ones that are hardest to block are not ranged. So that
Yep.
-4 speed on a stick is really good.
Yep. And just so you know, attacks can go into negative numbers.
Mhm.
So this will probably put most attacks at a negative speed. And it does make your block easier if it is a negative. Uh,
Also, hand size can go negative, and then you have to give me cards from your binder when you go
that
negative. That's a new rule.
yeah, it's player's choice, right? So you get
Player's
to pick.
choice. Yeah, yeah.
Um, oh man, I feel like this is unrelated. I feel like there was an old rule in Magic when the first game came out, like Alpha and the beta sets and all those, like the original set. Like you had to you bet cards before the game. Like
That
you put up a
sounds
card to ante, like to play.
that
That's
sounds
what you were playing
familiar,
for.
but that sounds terrible.
It's just such a random thing to put into a card game.
In a game where you can just get like mana screwed so easily, or you used to be able to before they changed some of the mulligan rules and stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
let's bet this expensive card and then I just draw no lands ever. GG. Here you go.
I would be a total coward. I would bet nothing but lands.
I'm betting I'm betting this planes. Oh, the full art Zendikar? What? No, 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 no. Just
No.
like a normal planes. Here you go.
I mean, I guess like in the obviously they had no way of knowing how valuable the alpha and beta cards would be at the time, but like in hindsight, go back in time, be like, yeah, man, let's fucking bet some of these cards. I'll
That's
take your
true.
lands. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
man.
man. Anyway,
Anyways,
we have I think what is Ryan's favorite foundation in Irrefutable Force of Nature. Talking about a card he actually did buy the entire stock on TCG Player.
I have like 8 of them. That's all I bought. Oh no, I pulled like 4 of them.
And then you
Actually, no, I pulled like 7 of them. Then I bought like 4 more. Yeah, I like this card. I play these symbols. Like I'm just gonna put it in all the decks. I don't want him
yeah,
to
no, it's a
swap it
really good
around,
card.
dude. Get out of my
Hmm.
life. But
I
yeah, I
didn't
like
say it was
Irrefutable
a
Force of
bad thing.
Nature. It shuts down a lot of the format, and then the things it doesn't shut down, it still shuts down. That's why I like that card.
Yes. Yep. It is, I think, easily Todoroki's best foundation.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think that's debatable.
nah. Um, his other foundations are just fine to situational, I think. Irrefutable
Yeah,
Force of Nature is the only one that's really, you can just put it in no matter what.
yeah. Frozen's like a 1 or 2 of in a lot of decks, just for a kill turn, blow your staging area up thing.
Hmm.
Self assured to change the zone of your attack is probably pretty good. I haven't played it in any decks, but I have seen it in a lot of decks online.
Hmm.
Um, and then precise control is just like a generic good uh spam foundation
Hmm.
where
It's
you can
got
just
Breaker,
tuck
you can
something
pull it
away.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Self Assured, are you playing it to change the zone, or are you just playing it to draw cards?
I mean,
Are you just changing zones in the meantime until you're ready to draw cards?
yeah, I don't. I feel like you probably aren't playing it just for the card draw though, because
Mm.
you need like
It's
8
got
cards to
some
go
setup, yeah.
2 for 1. Um, I mean, there's probably decks where it's fine, but I feel like I don't want to blow up a unique foundation to draw a card. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
I need to be getting at least 2.
All right. Looking at the Asui foundations, I think
Hmm.
she might have the best foundation package right now, just out of these characters.
Yeah.
I think her cards are just generically all really strong and really good. Amphibious and Observant Student are both really strong spam foundations.
Mhm.
Especially Observant Student with a +1 low block. That's kind of bonkers. Amphibious readies. Observant Student also has an amazing deadlock enhance. Um,
Never read it. No, I'm just
Never
kidding. It's
read it.
good. It's good
I
stuff.
was about to say what? Card recursion. Um, Obviously we talked about rescue completed. It does also have a destroy that I've never used, but I'm sure it's also useful. I know it's useful. Ready to face down foundations. So that obviously ties into her ultra rare attack, so you can just blow people out with that.
Yeah.
Um, Wall Cling, I think it's a card that when we first saw it, we maybe overvalued it versus how it's actually played out. It
Um,
is, I think it's still really strong. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't think it's maybe quite as good as we thought. It's still really strong.
I think it's probably as good as we thought,
You
but
do?
it's just
Okay.
because like Plus Ultra's not out yet. So it's gonna be very
Okay.
annoying to play against that when they just return your speed. They had just blocking on a 5 and it deals no
Yeah.
damage.
Yep.
Gonna be
Um,
pretty annoying.
that's the thing, is you gotta have plus ultra to really make this card work. Um, and then there's first villain encounter, which is Asui's DLC foundation. I am not 100% sure how I feel about this card. I think it kind of falls into the classmate introductions spot where maybe you're playing like one or two of it.
I
Um,
feel like
just
if you're
because
playing this card, just play 4 of it.
just play four of it because
Yeah,
you just
man.
commit and just blow people out with it. I guess you can also ready it with various things in Asui's set,
Yeah, I
her
mean,
package of
like,
stuff.
if you're gonna be playing something on like a 6 difficulty as your second attack, why not just like go ahead and pre-commit and give it plus speed and damage?
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, you're not top decking a 6, so like, why not commit 1 and then you know, hopefully you top deck your 5 and pass it and free speed and
Yeah.
damage. Why not?
Yeah, that is also not top decking a six. That is a good point. There are no six checks in the foundations in the water suite of cards. So if you're looking for those six checks, you got to be running some characters, which I don't think is very good with any of these
Yeah,
characters.
look elsewhere. But yeah, I
um,
think this card's probably going to be very, very fine.
mhm.
Um, Especially like the later in the turn you go, where you know you're going to have to commit stuff, and there's no getting around it. Like, why not just make your attack better?
Yeah, and it does have that deadlock enhance too, where if your opponent gets a little too out there, too a little too overzealous, you can punish them real hard.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I guess this actually card, like if you don't need to, or if you've already ready Asui or something like that, and you've got Crow and Frog takedown, readying this card wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Getting like multiple uses out of this in one turn is pretty good. Um, hmm. Well, think overall thoughts on the Water Foundations.
I mean, I like what's going on. If you
I
want to
do
stay
too.
alive and make your opponent mad that they can't kill you, it's got a really good
Hmm.
foundation base.
It does. Like I said, my overall thoughts on the Water Foundation or Water symbol as a whole for this first set is, I guess, just being surprised that it's as good as it is. I really do think it's my favorite symbol right now. It's got the most interesting character base. As we said, maybe not the best characters other than outside of Asui, because I think she is one of the best characters in the game. If we redid our tier system, I think I would probably bump her up to, I don't know if I'd put her up to an S, because I don't know if I could have 4 S tier characters. But she's at the top of the A group still. I think she's still really up there.
Yeah,
Um
I would
but
agree.
yeah. Um well, we've reached the point of the podcast where we determine what symbol we're going to talk about next. We're down to 3, right?
We're down to three.
Ooh, so
Um,
it's what,
Air,
air good life?
your good life. Yeah. We still rolling a dice for this? There's three. Do we just decide now?
Let's just, ah man. What do you want to do?
Here,
Do you just what?
here. Look, I got 2 copies of Ice Storm and 1 copy of Giant Ice Wall, and
Okay.
I'm gonna shuffle these up, and we're just gonna eliminate a symbol just by reading through. So I'm gonna say air, flip a card. If we see the Giant Ice Wall, the symbol is out. All right.
Okay.
All right. Or actually, no. Giant Ice Wall will be the one we do. That way, we only have to do it once.
Okay.
So we'll start. All right. Air. What is this?
That is Ice Storm.
So it's not air.
Wait. Is those
Oh
actual
no,
ice storms?
no.
Is that the regular? Wait.
That was Giant Ice Wall. So we're doing air. There we go.
Okay, that's like, wait a second,
I just
because
trusted
there's
you.
the
I didn't even look.
misprints.
I trusted you, and I didn't look.
Well, it's the art for
It
Ice
is. It's the
Storm.
same art. I mean, I could. My binder's in my car. I couldn't even get the actual art Giant Ice Walls. Okay, I'm
Ah, that's
sorry.
fine. So we're doing the air.
We're doing air.
Doing
Well,
air. All right.
that was anticlimactic, but
That
it's
was
fine.
that's whatever. All
So
right.
air, dropping that next week. What are you looking forward to talk to about air, man?
Um,
You dinky man now.
this Kaminari, this Bakugo. We're talking about Asui some more. I think air's got some really good stuff. Who else? Oh, Jiro.
It's Jiro time.
Jiro. Air Jiro is supposed to be really, really strong, so we can talk about that. So
What symbols do we have left? We have air, good, and
life.
okay. Yeah, okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited because we are talking to some people and they someone was saying that Air Jiro is up there with like good Kirishima right now, and wow, that's a bold statement.
that is a bold statement. And this will only be the second time we've gotten to talk about Jiro, but the first time we've gotten to talk about Jiro on one of her better symbols. So
Hmm.
it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's good
Um,
stuff. Did you know that there's 3 air characters that have Jiro in the name? You got Eijiro Kirishima,
oh,
Kyoka Jiro, and Mashiaro Ojiro. So,
oh,
so you can't just search for Jiro on UVS Ultra. You get all kind of results.
fair enough. All right. Well, do you have anything else to add to our before we head out of here?
Nah, man. Well, yeah. I mean, check out uvsacademy.org.
Mm-hmm.
uvsacademy.wordpress.com is where all our written content is.
Mm-hmm.
We got all our Facebook stuff up. What is it? Facebook.com/UVS Academy.
That
And
seems right.
then we're still trying to get Twitch streams in when we're not all old men who don't feel like streaming at night. So Thursdays
Yeah.
when we're feeling good.
It's it's rough, man, you know? It's like, "Hey, let's stream." It's like 8:30. It's like, "Bro, I'll go to bed at 9."
Yep, it's a struggle these days.
It is.
But
We got
yeah,
some holidays coming up. Maybe we can knock out some streams and get some stuff going.
oh yeah. And then I think that's pretty much it, man. Just make sure you like and subscribe the video. Let your friends
Mhm.
know about it who aren't listening or watching. And
Yeah.
that's all I got, man.
Alright. Well, as always, thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys spending your time with us, and, have a great week.
Later.
Bye.